station, currently employed with the UK Armoured Infantry, is based on a low-fidelity gunner's trainer for precision gunnery training with the Commander's Instructor's Operating Station, or the Common Instructor's Operating Station. Basically, it's a system whereby the pre-scripted exercises can be managed by the instructor, and by selecting individuals and instructors, assigning them to the courses, they can then run the training exercises. So what I will do now is set it up to run an exercise where we fired in main armament rounds on precision gunnery training. What I've done here is loaded an exercise. It's got a briefing on the screen there for the techniques that the gunner must employ in order to pass this training requirement. I'll now act as a gunner carrying out the engagement. I've now carried out the 3-round technique to destroy that target. Within this exercise, every gunner does the same engagement, so the output of the standardisation of training is the same for all individuals.
I was trying to get the image where something's flowing on so you can kind of tell something's happening on the screen.
Controls being used here are the same as fit, form, function requirements that the user would have to use in a vehicle.
Is this specific to some specific models or artillery, specific models of
specific tank or armored vehicle or anything?
This system is used currently with the UK Armoured Infantry on the Warrior Armoured Infantry vehicle. The exercise is now finished, and they have feedback there of the accuracy in which has been applied by the gunner. And as you can see in this instance, the exercise was passed with quite a high level of percentage. The student now will progress through the matrix automatically, whereby practicing a variety of different techniques until such time as he passes the course. On this screen here, the instructor has got all the accuracy and events list, which provides him constructive information in order to give objective debriefing and coaching to each gunner, and there's normally 6 employed with this iOS, so 6 gunners will train with one instructor. I think that's really it.
Okay. Is there a limit on the number of trainees which can be trained here?
No, because obviously it'll depend on how many systems that they are used by the user. There's currently 49 systems in the UK deployed in various locations, and 6 gunners train with one instructor. So for instance, you can train 18 guys if you have 3 systems of 6 gunners and 3 iOSs.
Now, what is the market for this kind of system in Malaysia and the other countries in Asia?
Yeah, I mean, we're really just trying to represent some of the capabilities of CAE's land solutions portfolio. So there are opportunities in Malaysia for PT91 and AV8 training systems. So, we're just showing a representative example of some of what CAE is delivered elsewhere in the world. So. Demonstrating here is representative of what CAE has delivered to other customers around the world. And we're showing Malaysia and other customers here in the Asia region some of the range of capability CAE has, in this case for training precision gunnery. So this is part of our portfolio of land simulation and training solutions. And here in Malaysia and elsewhere in Asia, there are opportunities for simulation and training systems for a range of land vehicles. PT-91, AV-8 are examples here in Malaysia. So what we're trying to do is just show a representative example of some of the capabilities CAE has to introduce the customers here in Malaysia and the region to what you can accomplish with simulation and training systems in preparation for when they actually do the live training. So you can accomplish quite a bit in simulation. It's very safe, very cost effective, and you can get them to a level of proficiency that makes when they do live training and then actual operations, they can be more proficient and more accomplished in the mission they need to perform.
Okay. So, other than Malaysia, in the rest of the region, what kind of opportunities do you see?
Well, specifically in Malaysia, there are opportunities for training systems for the PT-91, for the AV-8. CAE is currently developing an AV-8 driver simulator and one sharpshooter gunnery simulator for one of the turrets for the AV-8. So there's going to be, over the coming couple, 3 years, a range of opportunities on those platforms, specifically here in Malaysia. And then there'll be other opportunities in the region as a whole. So what we're doing at DSA is really showing, again, a representative example of CAE's total portfolio of land simulation and training solutions.
And we're talking of cost savings. Is there any estimate of what kind of savings can be achieved by simulation? I mean, especially for
there's so many variables involved in determining the cost advantages. Different parts of the world, different platforms, whether it's air, land, or naval. There's different variables and factors that you take into account when you're comparing the cost of simulation versus live training. In many parts of the world, the kind of a general rule of thumb on the aviation side is simulation's about 1/10 the cost, but that's only a general rule of thumb because it varies by fighter or transport or tanker or armored vehicle or tank. But when you take into account the cost of operating a tank, the munitions that you would expend in live flying, the operational wear and tear on the platform, the fact that it won't be available for operational use if you're using it for training, when you take all that into account with the cost of simulation, you're talking about a factor of 5 to 10 times less expensive to train in simulation. That doesn't mean that you don't do live training. We would never advocate or suggest that a military doesn't need to do live training as well. But there needs to be a balance of virtual and live. We think that balance is shifting to more virtual because of the cost advantages, because of the effectiveness of simulation-based training. But in the military marketplace, there always needs to be a balance of live and virtual, because when you're put people in harm's way to do dangerous and challenging missions, there needs to be a combination of live and virtual training to get them proficient and ready for the kind of operations they need to perform.